Hello everyone, just want to go over a few things with you that you can expect to see on your Sky Science test, unit test. So first of all, this is a sundial, so you may see questions about sundials. Basically, it's a very simple instrument, a very low-tech instrument that shows you the time and it harnesses the power or the fact that the sun rises in the east, crosses our sky, sets in the west. So you can see here that there's a shadow that's being made, and this shadow is pointing toward a number, and this is basically a clock. So this is Roman numeral 3. It's just before that. So this would indicate that it's just before 3 o'clock. Here's another example of a slightly different sundial. You can see how large it is, but same idea. It's got this stick in the middle. The stick has a fancy name, I forget what it is, but anyway, the stick casts a shadow, and here it's pointing just after 11 o'clock, so this might be like 11:05 or 11:10 in the morning. Now the important thing to understand with sundials is they have to be fixed. Like they are installed in a certain way, in a certain position, and they don't move. Because if you were to move it around, depending on which way you turn it, the shadow would be pointing at different numbers. And if it's not oriented in the right way, it would point to the wrong time. So when it's installed, they have to know which way to install it so it points to the right time. All right, next thing. Here's a little diagram that shows the sun in the sky and how it's much higher in the sky in the summer than it is in the winter. So we've discussed that, we know that. What we haven't discussed is the angles. So in math, you will learn about angles. But basically, the lower the sun is in the sky, the smaller that angle will be, that number will be. So you can see here, the winter sky, the sun is 34 degrees above the horizon or above the earth. And in the summer one, the sun is 80 degrees. So very simple thing to remember, the higher the sun is in the sky, the larger that angle is, the larger that number is. And finally, the last thing, there's this website's called The Scale of the Universe. It's a really neat website. I'll put it on the Google site for you. You can zoom in and out, and you can see the relative size of objects here on Earth and in the universe. So here's about the relative size of an adult human. And as we zoom out, we see how that human compares to different things like an elephant, a giraffe, a T-Rex. Here's the largest animal in the world, the blue whale, down here at the bottom. So you can see how small a human is compared to a blue whale. Redwood trees are giant trees that grow in California. If we were to take that little human being, they'd be really tiny next to the redwood tree. Anyway, as we zoom out, let's see if we can find our first object out in space. So here's I believe this is an asteroid. And here is a comet called Halley's Comet. So you could see Halley's Comet is roughly about the same size as Mount Everest over here. They're about the same size. So Halley's Comet is visible from Earth, I think, once every 30 years or so. You can see it. But generally speaking, comets are quite small. Deimos, I believe, is the moon for Pluto, so Halley's Comet is about the same size. It's a very small moon. And as we zoom out, we will see these are some countries and states in the world. Now we're starting to see some moons. There's Pluto. These are some other moons in the solar system. There is the Earth. So anyway, a cool website just to see the relative size of objects out in space. So remember, a planet would be the smallest, solar system would be next, a galaxy would be even bigger than that, and then the entire universe would be even bigger. That would encompass everything. So some things to remember for your test. Good luck.